Welcome to another edition of Heavy Live with Scoopy. I am Brandon Scoopy Robinson, senior writer at Heavy.com. We are live everywhere on all of Heavy.com Facebook channels. Heavy on Lakers, heavy on Celtics, heavy on Bulls, as well as on YouTube and via Periscope at Scoopy on Twitter. And it's always a joy when I can talk to the New York City legend. It's none other than Kenny Anderson joining us today. Chibs, what's going on, sir?
Ain't nothing, man. Just everything is good, man. Just I got here. I'm with my family. You know, I know Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Everybody enjoying their families. In Greenhead, Florida, I made it here, so I'm happy about that. So I'm good.
Queens is in the building. Many people know you as a Nets legend. You were drafted by the New Jersey Nets.
Yeah.
You were an AllStar. You missed those days.
Well, I miss, now that a lot of now I'm able to, see a lot of interviews and people talking about basketball and everything, and the Nets days was awesome, man. Those were my pro days. I did it for 4 years with the New Jersey Nets. I loved it. I really loved playing in the NBA. Was great.
When I look at that Nets team, you and Derrick Coleman, it's fascinating to me because I think you guys were ahead of the curve, specifically because the type of point guard that you were a lefty. When I look at Brandon Jennings, I saw so many similarities between you two. But I feel like in today's game, the type of point guard that you are and the type of forward that Derrick Coleman was. Derrick Coleman, I heard someone make a reference to Anthony Davis and said that DC was a lot like Anthony Davis, or Anthony Davis was a lot like Derrick Coleman. Do you think that you guys were ahead of your time?
Yeah. We were so talented. We could play basketball any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And Derrick Coleman, and I said it, and I'll say it again. He's the best player I ever played with in my life. Derrick Coleman, and that's I played with everybody, but he's a great talent. He was just awesome. Left, right hand, could dribble, could shoot, he just could pass the ball extremely well, and he was 6'9", 6'10". At that size, it was just unbelievable what he could have done in the league. He was awesome.
Yeah, he was. He was awesome. And when I look at what you do, what you did in the league, I feel like you were ahead of your curve. When I look at scoring point guards in today's game, I see guys like Damian Lillard. I see guys like Derrick Rose. Who reminds you more of you in that regard? Do you see a similarity between Derrick Rose or Damian Lillard in your man?
No, those guys are better than me. All of the young guys coming to lead is better than me. I care less about that, but I really think Chris Paul. I can really fit in with Chris Paul. His shooting, the way he passed, the way he handles the ball. I was more of a Chris Paul, Kyrie, Irving, but Lillard. Those guys, these young studs nowadays are great. I had a great opportunity for myself to play in the league for 14 years. I love watching the NBA now and watching some of the young studs, just how they develop and how they play. The game is a lot different than when I played in the league in '91. It's a guard league. It's a guy that can put the ball on the floor and can make it happen for the other team.
Tell me something. You mentioned Kyrie Irving, who's now a member of the Knicks, a native of West Orange. His dad, Derrick, New York City legend. I'm sure you guys know him first class. And you being from Queens, being from the South Bronx, growing up in the Mitchell houses. You look at Kyrie Irving, and you look at the potential. If the Nets were able to bring in, they were able to make a trade to get James Harden, who would handle the ball?
I'm a big Net fan. That's where I started. I don't like people bringing that up. You know what I'm saying? With James Harden, he's awesome. He's an awesome player, but not a good fit for the Brooklyn Nets. So, they got Kyrie, they got Kevin Durant. Let's build around them two guys and let our young guys grow. You know what? Um, um, Dunwoody is there. Levert, we got a good team, good young nucleus. Steve Nash is a rookie coach, first year. Let him build. Let him build, and I think we're gonna be good this year coming up. But with Harding, he would have changed all of that a little bit. I really believe that.
You're in the minority. A lot of people have wanted to see that happen just because everybody likes star power. You are expressing your fandom for the Nets because you play for them, and I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Talk about Caris LeVert. Is he the third star that everybody thinks the Nets need?
That's it. To me, he's the third star. He's blowing up in the league, playing very well. With Kyrie, Kevin Durant there, this guy is going to be awesome. For many years to come. LeVert is really he can shoot the ball, he can put the ball on the floor, penetrate, great size, great bit. He can pass the ball. He can do it all. And I think the Nets is going to be fine, with the team that they have this year. And they just signed Joe the shooter.
Joe Harris.
Joe Harris,
Mm-hmm.
He's from Virginia, so he's an ACC guy. So I gotta rep ACC. So he's gonna be great. Joe Harris. I just think that you gotta, we got bigs. We got bigs. The guy I get mixed up with his name. He was there. He was at the Clippers. What's his name?
DeAndre Jordan.
The center. DeAndre Jordan. He's there. He's going to be. We got a very good team, I believe. And I'm saying we're going to make a run for it next year. And the only reason we don't make a run for it this year, 2-3 years we got to win it. I think we're going to win it.
I like that.
2-3 years.
I like that. You made a mention of Kevin Durant. All of the different things that are being discussed: trades, Caris LeVert, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant not playing this past season. He comes back healthy this season. He's wearing your number 7, which you wore with the New Jersey Nets.
Yeah, he's wearing my number. Yeah, he all right. He can wear it. He all right. He's wearing my number. They got to give me some love for that. I'm the first number 7 brought New Jersey Nets some love. They got to bring it up. They got to give me some love for that. But it's great to see a great player wear your old number. Kevin Durant is the best in the league. He's the best. So, but to wear number 7, you got to get it from KA.
Jamal Crawford is still a free agent. Do you think that he fits in the current Nets team?
Oh, that'd be a great fit. That'd be awesome if we could get him just for a year, a free agent. Jamal Crawford, yeah, he's awesome. Awesome scorer, awesome 6-man. He won the award 3 times, 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's a no-brainer if we could get someone like him in his class. No-brainer.
Kenny, you spent some time with the Boston Celtics in the 90s. Take me back to those days, because I feel like many people remember you Nets. Some people remember you Portland. Some people remember you towards the end of your career playing for the Pacers. Do you have fond memories playing for the Celtics?
Oh, those are my high days. Boston was great. It was like 3 hours from New York. So my mother came and while she was close enough I could come home there, come to New York and visit. Boston was a great it's a great organization. At the time, Rick Pitino was my coach, but he got fired or sat down, and then Jim O'Brien took over.
Mm-hmm.
And we drafted Paul Pierce, who became literally just became superstar throughout the league. And I played with Antoine Walker, and a very good team, and we lost to New Jersey Nets to go to the to go to the finals that year. So Boston gets a lot of my love, because that's where I grew, started growing. I didn't need a lot of points. I set the table up. I ran the team like a point guard should, and I did well. Did well with Boston, and I love Boston.
Kemba Walker, Bronx guy, legend like yourself. What did you make of his first season in Boston?
Oh, it was great. I love Kemba Walker because he's from New York. I'm never going to disrespect a New York player. I'm just never going to do that.
Right.
He's from New York. He's great. He's one of my favorite players of all time. Kemba Walker is an awesome talent, and he will get better playing with the Celtics because they got Jason Tatum. He's another star there. They got my man, the other guard.
Jaylen Brown?
What's his name? You tell me. Jaylen. Oh, yeah, Brown. They're going to be tough, man. They're going to be tough for many years to come. They got the big guy from Cleveland. They just got Christian Thompson.
Yes.
They're going to be good, man. They're going to be good, and I love to see it. And, Kemba is awesome, man. He's awesome talent, awesome player, and just a good guy, man. I love where they was going at it, where the Celtics was going, and they're doing a good thing. Danny Ainge, real good GM, real good.
So you talk about you support all New Yorkers. I got to ask this question. So I had Brevin Knight on the show the other day, and we discussed kind of his playing days. He talked about Bob Sora, and he talked about how Bob Sora had talked smack to Michael Jordan in a game. And Michael Jordan in the first quarter, MJ came back and he scored about 24 points in the second quarter. Michael was born in Brooklyn, even though he claims North Carolina. I got to ask this question. Was Michael a quiet talker, or was he a loud talker when it came to playing against you guys in the New Jersey Nets era?
He was always quiet unless unless you spoke up and you got him ready, you got him reared up, he would go on you, But I never really said nothing because I already knew I'm from New York. I don't say nothing to great players. You don't need to give them no more fire. Just play, just continue to play, and that's all I did. But I really respect Michael Jordan because one day I brought his jersey in. I think when I played with the Nets, gave it to the ball boy, and he signed my jersey. Michael Jordan, he signed his jersey, a Chicago Bull. I had his jersey, and I wanted to get it signed, so I gave it into the ball boy. He went in there and he signed my jersey. So I like Michael Jordan. He's a great man.
The New York Knicks made some moves. The draft, the topic, they signed Rivers. What do you make of the offseason?
I just like Obi Toppin is my player. I loved him. Loved him when he played at Dayton College. I don't really pay attention to the Knicks at all. But when they drafted him, I was like, wow. And I thought he could have been top 3 pick, and they let him go. They let him go to 8, and the Knicks picked him up. And me, I'm not a big fan of the New York Knicks. My family was all of them was New York Knicks fans. 70s and the 80s, they all Knicks. That's where they New York. But they always came and supported me at the New Jersey Net games, and that's what we called it, But after Charles Oakley, I'm a big fan of Charles Oakley. When he had that really bad incident over at the Garden, I fell off. I didn't like them then. Spike Lee, those are good guys, man. And I really don't have no respect for the ownership over at the Knicks right now. So Knicks is done.
You're in an interesting juxtaposition because you're a native, and you're cool with Knicks, you played for the Nets, and you have the respect of many guys who came before you or many that came after you. What do the Knicks need to do to potentially earn your respect again?
What was that? I'm sorry.
So I said you're.
I hear
I
you.
said you're in an interesting position because you're from Queens. You grew up watching the
Yeah.
Knicks. You have guys that came before you, Knicks guys that came after you, and just young people who look up to you. And you also played for the then New
Yeah.
Jersey Nets, who are now in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
With that being said, what do the Knicks need to do to one, win you over, and two, actually get better?
Well, nothing gonna win me over. I'm a New Jersey Net, Brooklyn Nets. They can't win me over. But to see good basketball, to get better, they did one thing that I really enjoyed this year in the draft is they drafted Obi Toppin, and I just love him, and I hope he have a good career, in the NBA. And I believe he will just by working extremely hard on his game. But me, I can care less about the Knicks.
Last question about the Knicks. They did sign Tom Thibodeau as their head coach. How do you think that will benefit New York?
Thibodeau, I think is a very good coach, hands down. But I really don't know. I think it's going to be, 3 to 4 years where he could turn the table on this team to get them to play team defense like he had going on in Chicago. But the NBA is a little different now. You can't work the kids out, the young men out hard, like he's capable, like he's normally, like he normally does. So it's going to be interesting. But Tibbs is a great coach. I love Tibbs. Great coach.
You bring an interesting perspective. You yourself are a head coach at New York. You guys are currently not playing this season because of
Yeah.
COVID and everything going on.
Yeah.
How was that process for you? Did it make you itchy because you can't be around basketball?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it kind of frustrated me because that's where I'm really comfortable at in the gym, working with my young men. But, it's no season. I'm at an NAIA school, Fisk University, down in Nashville. I'm trying to build also. I'm trying to build a program. I've been there for 2 years. I love it though. I love it. And it's going to take some changes there, but I'm able to make the changes. I'll be fine. But we were at a small school, and it just wasn't gonna. It was gonna be tough for us to even have the season, so they canceled it. It was needed.
I asked you about Derrick Rose. I'm going to remix that question a little bit. Do you like it in Detroit? And what do you like about his evolution as a basketball player?
Oh, Derrick Rose is one of the top guards that ever played the game. He won MVP as I don't know what year he was in, but a young guy. I loved his game in Chicago, and I always will love his game. But coming back, and then he came back from the injury, played extremely well at Detroit. It's Minnesota. He played very. Then he played well at Detroit. So sky's the limit for him. He could still, you know, um, push a team. But I'm not sure with the injuries and things and guys coming in, will will he find a starting spot or come off the bench? That would be his. That's what he would have to look forward to. I would think, and he's a great player, but the injuries, take toll.
From a coaching perspective, I'm sure you'll love this. You look at Rajon Rondo during his time with the Lakers this past season. I mean, this guy got a ring in Boston and he got a ring in LA and he bounced. And now he's in Atlanta getting some guaranteed money. Do you like that move to Atlanta for Rajon Rondo?
Oh yeah, it was great. A veteran won two championships with two of the best teams. One on the West, the Lakers, and one on the East, the Boston Celtics. So he can really coach that team on the floor, coach that team in the locker room, which he's gonna do. They got a very good team. They got the young point guard. He's gonna be playing behind, helping him mature and play the right way, and it's going to be awesome. I think he's a great fit for Atlanta Hawks. It's an awesome fit for Atlanta Hawks.
You would know a little bit about that, Mr. Georgia Tech. Tell me something. You were teammates with Paul Pierce in Boston. And when you look at Paul Pierce on TV, I asked Antoine Walker this. I'm going to ask you as well. Do you think it's fiction that Paul Pierce actually does not care for LeBron, or do you think that he just feels slighted by basketball people?
I just don't think he likes LeBron James. You know, that happens. You know, I think he doesn't like the comments and some of the statements he make. He just don't like him. You know, that he can say what he want to say, but I don't think he likes him for whatever reason that is. You know,
listen,
I don't think so.
You are the uncle. You are the black sheep of the family that's going to hide all the secrets and tell the truth. That's why I come to you and ask you.
There you go. You got it.
I'm sure in your travels playing for the Nets, you came across Mike Tyson. Mm-hmm. Number one, yes. Who do you have in the fight on Saturday?
See, those are my guys. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. Took pictures with both of them. I love both of them guys, but I would just say I knew this was good. I didn't want to make. I just say the way I'm going with Tyson. Just the anger and everything he used to fight with. You just got to go with Tyson, man. And Tyson is from Brooklyn. I'm from Queens. I gotta go with a New Yorker, man. Go. That's how we roll.
There you go. Can you give me a funny Mike Tyson story?
No, I can't give you one. I can't give you.
Well, I'll tell you.
I can't give you one.
I'll tell you a funny Mike.
Wait. Could you? Oh, go ahead. I'll keep moving around because I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Go ahead. You could. Yeah. Go ahead. Oh. Yeah, what you say?
So you said you can't tell me a funny Mike Tyson story.
Nah.
Okay.
I can't because they're not funny. They're funny, but it's a lot of cursing and everything involved in it. I'm not gonna do that.
I got you. No, that's real. That's real. I think that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, to me, I think it's great for nostalgia. I think because everybody's home.
Yes.
I think in the same way when you look at wrestling and you saw The Undertaker finally retire after 30 years. You see all of these legends coming about, and it's the time during COVID where I think people can really appreciate the talent that came before them in the 90s. When you look at your era of basketball, besides yourself, because I don't think people truly appreciated you, and I think this came pre-internet. Who is somebody else that you wish that people paid more attention to and respected that they don't?
Oh, it's as simple as Rod Strickland. Mm-hmm. You know, Rod Strickland. Me and Rod, Rod, he doesn't get enough of the glory. He could take mine, take all the glory. I don't really care anymore about that. But Rod Strickland, he's just awesome. Rod Strickland, Pearl Washington, Kenny Smith, Mark Jackson. Those are the four guys that I grew up on. That I wanted to beat them. Kenny Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Patterson in Queens. It's just those guys are awesome. And Kenny Hutchison from Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
young kids don't know them guys, but I do, and I wanted to be just like them, and I became better than them people, better than some of them players and everything, and it was just awesome. It was an awesome feeling. But those are the point guards that I reminisce on.
Why won't a team take a chance on Mark Jackson and hiring him as a head coach?
I don't know, but my friend was telling me that he did some, when he was at Golden State, the owner over there said, he said some bad things. So he's getting blackballed throughout the league. So it's tough, but that's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
He said something about the owner and all that. I don't know about what had occurred, but it happened, and it's sad, but those rumors are true. Because he's a great coach. Not only a great coach, he's a great man, and I love him, man. And I wish he would get his opportunity to coach in the NBA. It's a shame.
Yeah, no, man, it is a shame. I want to get you up out of here in a minute. I know you're with your family. When you look at New York City basketball players, you mentioned Mark Jackson, you mentioned Rod Strickland, you mentioned Kenny the Jet Smith, and then you look at you. I look at Stephon. I look at the Newbury. I look at Lance Stevenson. I look at the guys who came before you, who were during you, and who came after you. If you could name your top five, so basically you make it a starting lineup of your favorite New York City players, excluding yourself, who would be in your starting five?
Well, first of all, the point guard that I truly admire and love is the point guard run the team is Tiny Archibald.
Mm-hmm.
Will be the one. Julius Irving would be the two. No, he'd be the three, right? He probably have to play the three.
Dr. J?
Wow. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Julius Irving, Dr. J.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is like the five. That totally number five. He has to be the total. So that's three players. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is awesome. And then my two guard. Who came out of New York? Name me some two guards that was really nice.
I feel like
it's so many of us. It's so many of us. It's not the point guards I got, but it's so many great players came out of New York.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You can shift Marbury to the two.
I really could.
You could shift Marbury to the two.
Yeah, I could because he shoot a lot. He was aggressive. He was I would, but yeah, we're gonna put Marbury. Put Marbury to two. Put Marbury. He's a great player. He was a great player. He's from Lincoln High School. I don't like Lincoln High School because they beat us. They beat us to get to I don't like it, but I'll put him in there. I don't like Lincoln, but they beat us. But no, Marbury would go there. Tiny, Marbury, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Julius Irving, and one more. I'm just gonna go with a crazy lineup. I'm gonna put my guy who I looked up to, who coached, Vincent Smith, our brother. His brother coached me, Kenny Smith. His brother coached me and everything, and I love him. We're like family. We're like family. So I'm gonna go with Kenny Smith.
There you go. I feel like people forget that Anthony Grayson was from your borough of Coleman.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh man. Yo, I'll take Stephon Marbury off and put Anthony Mason in there to be a forward. My bad. Oh yeah, my guy. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
Mason.
Anthony Mason.
Mason in your face. That's my guy, man.
Yes, sir. When I look at today's game, I feel like he was ahead of his time, particularly playing under Pat Riley.
Yeah.
He could handle the ball. He could push the ball on the break. He could play in the half court. Is there Anthony Mason in today's game?
Well, man, I don't watch it enough, the pro game, but it come to me who's I really Lakers. You gotta say LeBron James.
I like that answer.
He's LeBron James. He's like 6'8", built. He can rebound. He can play the point. He can play 2, 3, 4. Probably can play the 5. So he's just an awesome talent. He's just awesome, man. LeBron James.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think you nailed on the head. Definitely a playmaker. Definitely ahead of the game. And he was a former Net.
Yeah. LeBron James?
No, Anthony Mason played for the Nets briefly.
Oh, Anthony Mason. Yeah, briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got his game up with the New York Knicks. We played them the playoffs and everything like that. He was a great man. Great guy.
Yes, sir.
I love Anthony Mason.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, man. I could talk basketball with you all day, and I know you're doing the family thing, and I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to say thank you for joining us today because you're a legend, and I think that in this era, they got to pay respect to the past and to appreciate the present.
That's what I say all the time, man. It's a blessing, man. And thank you for having me on. And always, man, you give me a call, I'll come on.
Yes, sir.
I always gotta rep it.
Yes, sir.
I always gotta rep it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, good brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, my man. Thanks.